Greetings YouTube. Today we're going to make a weapon which is a pun. So we're going to be using, I'm going to be using this Little League 300 hitter series Louisville Slugger as my base for the weapon. 2 plates which are for lally columns, which is pronounced L-A-L-L-Y, even though it is spelled L-O-L-L-Y. English is weird. 4 lag bolts. A bit for the wood, though I may try this one. That one may be the right side, and because these are brand new brad point bits. I haven't tried a brad point bit before, so we may try that first. I'm going to have to drill through this plate, and I'm probably going to start with a smaller drill bit and then work my way up to a larger drill bit because I want to emulate a hole approximately that size. I don't need 2 of that because I'll be just using the other holes, so I'll be drilling 1 hole there and 1 hole there, and I won't have to worry about the rest. So I will have to find the center of both of these wonderful devices. So yes, this is going to be a fairly fast project, I think. So I really only have to drill 2 holes in these plates, 2 holes in this bat, and then bolt everything together. And I think I may have found a trick that will help me make sure that the holes are spaced correctly for the plate. So the first thing is to find another bit, which I haven't gotten out yet, do a setup, and then start working on this, I think, because yeah, unfortunately do I have to do this by hand because my drill has already got the vise set up in it. That's really good for this, so I may leave that in there and just do this one by hand. It'll work. All right, back soon. Alrighty, so I have the first hole done, and my real concern here is to get the spacing between these 2 holes as close as possible. So these are not perfectly lined up square-wise, but that hole there and that hole there are very close. And I'm going to have some slop in here, like that. So if I get them that close, I'm within a half a millimeter probably. And I'll just drill the smaller hole now, and then I'll drill both of them with the bigger hole when I'm finished, probably while they're still sitting here. But I did it this way so I could use this smaller hole as a guide to drill the smaller hole in the second plate. When I drilled my first hole, I got little tiny chips. See this right here? This is because I used a bit designed for steel. The first bit I used was a general purpose drill bit. The second one I used was a one designed to drill steel, and you can see the difference. I really need to get a full set of those because using general purposes drill bits on plates like this is tedious and slow, while this thing just cuts through them like butter. I just don't like drilling a hole this large all at once. It's difficult, even with this kind of bit. So I'd like doing it in 2 stages. So yeah, that's the difference between general purpose and a dedicated steel bit. Guess what? A dedicated wood bit, this brad point bit, drills wood better than a general purpose drill bit. Who would have thought it? So there we go. Like I said, a pretty simple build, and it came out, and these points are pretty much in line with each other, which is really kind of nice. I like the way this thing kind of sits. It just sits upright on its own. I kind of like that. I'm not going to sharpen this. I want to leave this as more of an impact weapon. Though I got to tell you, the amount of energy that's going to be concentrated on those 2 points right there is not going to be as great as if it is a single point because you're dividing it up, but still that's going to be a lot of energy right there. So even though this is not an axe, this is still going to have a lot of oomph when it impacts. Now I'm going to go outside and take some pictures, which will be at the end of this video, and I'm going to give it a try and bury it into the log on my stump to see if I can get the thing to stand upright with just the force of a swing to bury this in a little bit so that it'll stand up on its own. I think that will be cool. And maybe I'll set it up so that you can actually maybe read the logo a little better. But yeah, this is a pretty simple build. I like this. I've been thinking about this for a while. And my next stage, I think I'd like to do another one with a slightly smaller bat. I've got a smaller one, and I'd like to bury the blade here, and I would have to take out Yeah, because it's got these 4 lugs here for centering a lally column. So I'd have to take one of them out, grind it off, so I can slip it in here. So what we're going to do is I drill a hole and then cut the wood out between the end of the bat and the hole to the depth I want it, which would, you know, it would have to go, I'd move it up further, so these points would probably be further up than they are now. Not by much, maybe there, because I still want to be able to pass a hole through the bat so I could pin it this way and that way, so that it would not rotate at all when it's. But I only do a single blade, and then sharpen the points up with an angle grinder, give them more of an axe-like profile. Maybe just do a single bevel grind just for fun to see how it looks. That might be interesting. But this is the baseball diamond mace in all its punny glory.